Okay, moving on to slide 3. So I put this in as a fun little like intermission dance party, you know, take a break kind of slide. But really what I thought that I would show you is the ability to actually create GIFs using PowerPoint. So I use PowerPoint all the time. It's my go-to program that I use in partnership with any kind of development tool that I'm using. And in this case, you can go to your holiday design deck source file and see where all of these things came from. I just downloaded a bunch of packs from freepik.com and threw them in here. And I'm giving this to you so that you can also just play around with each of these. So ultimately, I created another presentation over here. Let's pick this guy. And one of the things that you can do with PowerPoint that I just discovered, and I think that this has a ton of applications, is you can create GIFs super, super simply. So again, a GIF is really just a series of still images that are in very rapid succession with each other that create the illusion of a motion picture, if you will. So I always think of one of the flip card animations, right, with the little stick figure like running at the very bottom of a pad of paper. As you flip it up, you see the little man starting to run. So to me, I thought that, hey, it would be really cool if we implemented that same concept to create a GIF to essentially create some sort of like stop motion animation in this storyline file. So one of the things that I did is I looked through the files that I have here, and these characters that I downloaded are just full of motion, right? You can see that there's just a lot of action being taken. He's running with a gift. She is ice skating. So I thought that it would be really cool to use this this approach of creating GIFs to actually bring motion to a few of these folks. So I'll open one of these and show you just what I did. Ultimately, I just copied and pasted one of the guys in over here. And you can see over here, I'm going to just really quickly scroll down. You can see the animation essentially in motion just at a preview mode. So you can see what I've done is you see the Santa coming in. He turns around, goes backwards a little bit. Oh, picks up his kid, and then is continuing on. Oh, kid wanders away. Come back here, you. Oh, and off they go. Right? So I found that 16 essentially frames made for like a really good beat with the 4/4 rhythm that I had for the audio that I've actually selected for the slides, and you'll hear that in a second. So play around to figure out what you need, but ultimately I just move him a little bit on each frame, exactly like claymation or stop motion animation, right? So you can imagine, even though he himself, like I'm not adjusting his legs, I'm not adjusting his arms, I'm not adjusting his facial features, but with very simple motions, like let me show you this one. He comes back and then he bends forward, if you can see that. He makes a very subtle, both of them do, right? So little tiny quick motions in that way, when paired very quickly with each other, will create a very quick type of, not too jarring, but intentionally sort of like not smooth, I guess, animation. So okay, once you've got all of your slides together and you're like, this is the presentation that I want, you're going to come up to File, and then you'll click Export, and you'll say Create an Animated GIF. And here you'll have the opportunity to create or to set some other sort of settings for yourself. So I did a large file, and I made the background transparent. So there's a pro and a con to doing this. The con is in preview mode, you can't see it. The pro is obviously that there is no background, right? It's fully transparent. I want all of the slides to be included, and then I figured the sweet spot, at least in my opinion, is 0.25 seconds spent on each slide. So once you kind of like play around with these, you'll create GIF, and then I'm going to see if I can just quickly pull this open. So I've made a handful here. So this is what I mean. I made a couple to begin with over here when the background was not transparent. You can see I can actually see it in preview mode. Now it's just black, but these are the ones that are actually like so much better. So I'm going to click the one that we were just working with, the GIF animation with kid. Open this up. And you can see there he is. He's walking around. Oh, okie doke. Right? And then it's going to loop. That's kind of the beauty of a GIF. So that's that. Now, what I want to do is I want to import that into my storyline file to create some basic movement. So let's see how that's done. Come back over here to storyline. And again, at first glance, not a lot really happening on this page. We've moved our progress indicator over here. Now you can see our back and next buttons are both active, and they just are back and forward, right? Nothing like the triggers aren't too wild here on this screen. So I'm going to actually preview this slide so that you can see how it all comes together. So I thought that was so cool. This is like so much fun to make. So I want to show you, I made, obviously there were a few here. The longer one was there at the end. But each of these I've just exported. And in order to import them in, what you'll do is click Picture. And you'll select wherever you have put yours. So for me, what have I done here? Yeah, so you just import them like normal images. So I could, pop that in there. Of course, he's already in there, but then it'll import the image right there. So that's the coolest thing about GIFs, is that they work just like PNGs or JPEGs in that way. There's nothing that special about them. The one thing to remember, though, is that they're going to loop. So if I let all of these just wait, if I just kept them on the screen, so you can see here what I've done is I've limited them. So they play one loop, and then I essentially say, okay, I'm cutting you. These are, I don't know if I explained this, but the seconds here on the timeline is how long something is staying on screen. And by default, everything is just on there for the entire duration, right? So like our snowman down here, who's our progress indicator, he's just showing till end. But what you can do is you can right click, and instead of say show till end, then you can actually adjust how long you want that thing to stay on screen. I actually do want Mr. Snowman to stay till the end, so I'm going to do that. But down here, I have obviously, separated these. So if you can see what might happen if I took the liberty of not doing that, let's see, just let's see what happens here. All right, our gal comes in. Great, perfect. Oh, geez. Ah! So depending on the effect that I was going for, that could be very cool. I could have made sort of a hustle and bustle, lots of people in the city right before the holidays type of thing. But obviously that wasn't the effect that I was intending. So it looks about right, did that. Over here, I just picked an audio that I found online. I use Storyblocks to find video and audio and things like that. Again, these images came from FreePic, which I downloaded and put them into PowerPoint. But the bulk of the heavy lifting here literally was done in PowerPoint, and it just looks like that. So I think this was a lot of fun, and I can definitely see a lot of really, really cool applications for using GIFs, not only just in Storyline, but also in Rise, I guess mostly just Storyline and Rise, to be honest. Those are the two programs that I guess I use the most frequently for something like this. But I can definitely see it just adding a little bit of sparkle and a little bit of pizzazz to whatever presentation it is that you're working on. So, all right, that's slide 3.